feedback, or how blind spots become visible. Everything's going on as usual in the Spring Valley Bank, or so it would appear. Since Paul, the bank manager, has returned from his seminar on communication, however, he's been taking a much closer look at his colleagues. His attention falls upon James, his project manager in the back office, who often treats his in-house clients with a lack of sensitivity. His greetings are mostly unemotional. Now and again, he lets his colleagues wait, despite fixed appointments. He's also started giving in his work later and later. When one of the relationship managers then tells Paul that she feels she's been falsely advised by James, it's the last straw. Paul decides to confront his employee with his observations. Paul assumes that James will be reasonable. After all, he is a valuable employee despite some small weaknesses. But their discussion is anything but pleasant. After only a very short time, they face each other unrelenting. From the very beginning, they had launched into a downward spiral of accusation and justification. What went wrong? To answer that, we have to remember the difference between a person's self-perception versus an outsider's perception. Self-perception is the image one has of oneself, while an outsider's perception is how we appear to others. These two images are not always identical. When others tell us how they perceive us, they help us to improve our behavior. Thus, feedback means much more than just forcefully telling others our opinion. No, whoever gives feedback, whether boss or employee, must observe certain rules. For feedback isn't an attack. It's a gift. The person who gives feedback simply describes the behavior or action he has observed, as opposed to judging it. He forgoes conjecture and speculation and gives explicit examples, and treats the other with respect. And the feedback's recipient should not immediately assume a defensive position. The person who receives feedback does not defend himself, but first just listens. Should he get the feeling, however, that a personal boundary has been overstepped, he should say so. After their first failed attempt, Paul and James get together once more. Paul describes what he has observed, factually, accurately, and in a friendly manner, and James listens to him calmly, without immediately justifying himself. He's understood that the feedback means a chance for him to work on himself and his behavior. The effects of a functioning feedback culture in Spring Valley quickly make the rounds.